going on, Jerome's? So, just chilling. I had a thought, taking a nap at the undisclosed location, but do vibes matter? And does culture matter? Because you've seen a complete 180, a complete seismic shift, the way that the Vikings players are talking about the coaching staff. And some players, like Eric Kendricks, have taken not so veiled shots at the previous regime, calling it a fear-driven organization. But I think that there is, in a lot of ways, players are crapping on the old regime by talking up the new regime. It's one of those spots like, hey, the new girlfriend is really, really hot, man. And just sort of poo-pooing on the ex, right? And I do think that, to a degree, I sort of understand the old school logic. It's like, well, you got to be tough, and who cares if someone yells at you? Who cares if it's a fear-driven organization? You look at Bear Bryant from back in the day. You look at Saban. You look at Belichick. Like, no one's going to confuse them with Hugly, Snuggly, and Fugly. Maybe a little Fugly, but no one's going to confuse them with Ted Lasso. But to a degree, I actually do think that the Ted Lasso approach is legit, because think about great coaches throughout history, right? You look at John Wooden, you look at Bill Walsh to a degree. A lot of them are forward-thinking players, coaches, and it's okay having a good vibe. It's okay having a good atmosphere and culture with your team. Everything doesn't have to be rah rah sis boom ba, because it's football, right? And these guys, you could call them millennials, you call them Gen Z, you call them soft for wanting to have their feelings understood and heard, but it sort of is what it is. And I get really annoyed when people compare the NFL. Well, in my job, you show up when you're sick and blah, 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 right? But I actually do think that this compares aptly, because think about your job. Like, if you had a boss that was just always kicking your ass, never said a good thing about you, was always talking bad about you behind your back, well, you don't really have the media in your job for the most part, but how would you feel? Or would you be looking to find another job, right? Or if everything is great, you got great work friends, everything is cool, everyone's successful, I actually do think that that does matter. And because what job are you going to be more inclined to give your best effort? The job where the boss kicks your ass, or the job where everyone enjoys each other, you love showing up to work, and you get things done? And I think that certainly applies to football as well, because look over the last 2 years. Whenever the Vikings faced some adversity, or whenever the Vikings got in a tight situation, they just folded. And I think part of that is either consciously or subconsciously, players weren't happy. Like, you will give all effort. You will run through a wall for someone and something that you believe in. And I think that the players at OTAs, talking about how the culture's changed, how everyone's excited to be there, I think that will carry over the season. And I think the Vikings will have a great run, because basically you're returning the same talent as you had last year, adding in some spicy rookies as well as some great supplemental free agents. And now you're going to have a better vibe. And also you're going to be more inclined offensively and defensively. Well, defensively, you couldn't get much worse than the last 2 years, even though Zimmer never had a bad defense. But what can you do? So, again, I do understand the old school's like, oh, who cares about feelings? But the players matter. Like, even if it's a placebo effect, like even if the players just think in their minds that it's a better culture, I mean, they're going to play better. And that's the bottom line. And I think that's something valuable that Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi adofo-mensah have brought to the Vikings. Completely changed the culture, and we'll see if it translates onto the field. But let us know your thoughts on our thoughts. Pillow Talk. Now we'll think of a better title. Anyway, do vibes and does culture matter? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Skol, no production value.